The storm outside was one of those rare ones in early spring, unexpected, loud, and persistent. Rain drummed against the windows in a rhythmic pattern while the wind howled, as if it had something to prove. I'd planned for a quiet evening. Just me, some popcorn, a cozy blanket, and a romantic comedy I'd already seen 5 times. I needed the predictability, the comfort, the ease of something that didn't ask too much of me. My week had been long, work stressful, and my heart, well, still bruised in places no one could see. I was halfway through the opening credits when I heard the knock. At first, I thought maybe it was the wind rattling something loose on the porch. But then I heard it again, sharp, deliberate. I froze. No one ever came by unannounced. I lived on a quiet street in Savannah, Georgia, where neighbors mostly kept to themselves. Curious and cautious, I got up and padded to the door in my fuzzy socks. Peeking through the peephole, I saw a face I never thought I'd see again. Zach Carter. My heart flipped in my chest so hard it hurt. I backed away from the door, breath caught in my throat. What was he doing here? We hadn't spoken in over a year. The last time I saw him, it ended with slammed doors, shouted words, and tears I swore I wouldn't let him see. I told myself he was part of a chapter I'd already closed. I had written him out, shut down the ache, and moved on, or at least I had convinced myself of that. But seeing him there, standing under the porch light with his hoodie soaked from the rain and that hesitant expression on his face, everything came flooding back. I should have walked away. Should have ignored the knock. Should have protected my peace. But I didn't. I opened the door. He looked up at me like he was half expecting me to shut it again. "Hey, Lauren." I stared at him, barely able to process the moment. "Zach, what are you doing here?" He shoved his hands into his jeans pockets, water dripping from the hem of his sleeves. "I was driving through town. Just thought I don't know, see you." The silence between us stretched long and heavy. I could have said no. Should have said no. But instead, I stepped aside. "Come in. You're soaked." He looked surprised, like he didn't think I'd actually let him in. He stepped through the doorway, his boots squeaking against the hardwood floor. The scent of rain clung to him, familiar and jarring all at once. "Thanks," he said, brushing his damp hair out of his face. "Didn't mean to show up like this." "Didn't think you'd ever show up again," I said without meaning to. It came out sharper than I intended, but I didn't take it back. Zach looked at me, his expression softening.
"Yeah,
I deserved that." I crossed my arms, unsure what to do next. "You want something to drink?"
sure."
"Whatever you're having." I made my way to the kitchen, grabbed 2 glasses and a bottle of red wine from the counter. My hands trembled just enough for me to notice. I wasn't prepared for this, for him. For the memories pressing at the edges of my mind like floodwater against a dam. When I returned, Zach had taken a seat on the couch, looking around like he was trying to absorb everything. "You changed the curtains," he said, taking the glass I offered him. "You remembered the old ones?" He smiled. "Ugly yellow, with little lemons on them. You said they were quirky." I said they were a crime against design. I laughed before I could stop myself. "They were pretty awful. But you loved them." I did. And I remembered how we used to have entire debates about the decor, his minimalism versus my chaos. I always won, mostly because I was more stubborn. The wine warmed me. Or maybe it was just him. The silence that followed wasn't uncomfortable, just full of things we weren't saying. Zach finally broke it. "I know I shouldn't be here." I stared into my glass. "Then why are you?" "I don't know. I was in Atlanta for work. Drove past the Savannah exit and kept thinking about you. About us." My chest tightened. "Zach, it's been a year." "I know. You left without even trying to fix things." "I know that too." He set his glass down on the coffee table and leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "I didn't come to mess with your life, Lauren. I don't know. I guess I never really stopped caring." I looked at him, searching his face for something, regret, sincerity, closure. And I saw all of it, but I also saw the danger. The kind of pull that made you forget how to be careful. The kind of person who made you feel everything too deeply. I turned away, trying to steady myself. You broke my heart, Zach. I broke mine too. I didn't say anything.
He sighed.
I was scared, Lauren. We were getting serious, and I didn't know if I could be the man you needed. I didn't want to ruin you, so I thought walking away would hurt less in the long run. That's the thing, I whispered. It didn't hurt less. It just lasted longer. His eyes closed briefly, like the words physically hurt him. I'm sorry. For a long time, neither of us moved. The rain outside had turned into a soft drizzle, barely audible against the windows. I felt the ache again, the one I'd buried so deep it had become part of me. I stood up. I don't know why I let you in tonight. He looked up at me, his voice low. Do you want me to leave? I opened my mouth, closed it again. I didn't know what I wanted. I told myself I wouldn't let you back in, I said softly. That if you ever came back, I'd remember every reason why it didn't work, why it couldn't work. And, he asked gently. I met his eyes. I invited you in, and then forgot why I shouldn't. His expression shifted, something deep and vulnerable flashing in his eyes. Lauren. I walked over to him, sat down beside him on the couch. My voice was barely above a whisper. I don't know what this is, or what it means, but right now I need to stop pretending I don't still feel something when I look at you. He reached for my hand, slowly, like he wasn't sure I'd let him. I didn't pull away. We sat there, fingers entwined, the past flickering between us like an old film reel. He didn't kiss me that night, not yet. There was too much left unsaid, too much still healing. But we talked for hours. About where he'd been, what I'd done, how much time had changed us, and how much it hadn't. And when he finally stood to leave, I didn't stop him. But I didn't close the door either. Not all the way. Because sometimes, when the right person knocks again, you open the door. Even if you don't remember why you shouldn't.